Did it get, it's struggling to get clear. Hi guys, welcome back to the treehouse. Did that work? We'll find out. I think it did. Hopefully everyone's doing well today. Hi guys, welcome to the treehouse. Hopefully everyone is doing really well today. I told everybody that we were gonna have our queue open for some card readings. So that's what we're gonna do today. So I'm gonna turn on the queue. I'm gonna keep the queue a little bit on the lower side and see what happens, and then maybe we'll open it again depending on how much time we have. But it's gonna be full readings today from the queue, so no channel points necessary today for that. I don't know, I might leave it open for channel points later, but that's what we're gonna be doing for today. I'll have my paint out just for the sake of having my paint out. Hey L'Oreal, welcome in, hun. Hey Lucid, how are you, dear? Welcome back. I know I don't usually stream on Friday. It's been a while since I've streamed on a Friday. What? How are you guys feeling today? You've got cloudy skies? No. Not your fan, I'm so sorry. Can you see? I don't know if you can see. I guess that window always looks that bright. That window always looks that bright, so it's not really exclamation point join if you want to join. There you go, dear. Yeah. I'm sorry you have cloudy skies. It's not your fan. Hi, Kate. Hi. Hi. Yeah, I made it a little bit lower. So we're not going to do channel points today. Dino, exclamation point join will get you in the queue, and it'll be a full reading today. I'm doing full reading queues today. So I'll give you your 200 crystal points back at the end of this stream, dear. Actually, I could probably do that. I can have it, I should have my dashboard open more. Hey, David. So if you want to join, the queue is open if you want to join the queue for a card reading. I'm doing full card readings today. You can do exclamation point join to join it if you want. And if you still want the crystal card only though, I can do that in replacement if you don't want a full read, because I understand sometimes people don't want to have their business, you know, out there. Hey, Tygo. Yes, we're gonna do tarot today. We're gonna do card readings. It just happens to be tarot cards. So we are gonna, I'm like the fact that we are follower only chat, we're gonna keep that. I'm gonna go to my managed rewards. I'm gonna mark what's complete. I'm gonna leave your, Dino, I'm gonna leave your crystal card up and we'll see what we can, Tygo, exclamation point join, dear, we'll get you in. And since you're a subscriber, you get, ahead of people who are just followers. Hey Buzz, how are you, dear? Hi. Welcome in. I'm doing really well. I had a mini meditation outside in the sunshine, in the lovely sunshine, and it felt amazing. And you can wait for followers though. It's okay, Tygo. It's okay. I'll keep that in mind. There's one more slot. It's gonna be a short tarot stream today. I'm gonna do the queue. I'm not sure how long my readings are gonna be, so that's why I'm doing it kind of a shorter one. So there's one more slot available. Hey Raven, welcome in, dear. If I get through that, I'll open the queue a second time. for those who have not gotten their stuff. And then, depending on that, I'll leave it open for maybe points redemptions. It just depends on how much time we have, really. You've never seen me do tarot before? Really? Hey, Griswold. Hi, dear. We should all congratulate Griswold for winning the giveaway. Congratulations, Griswold, dear. I just sent you a PM, so however you want to provide me with your address, I guess. Whatever you feel comfortable with utilizing to give me that information is fine. You've never seen me do tarot before? Well, it depends. I've taken the tarot down recently because I was how I was gathering information was changing, so I kind of wanted to take a break from that. Will I be your citrus friend? Sure. You're just here to enjoy the chill vibes. That's okay, guys. That's okay, dude. The painting will still be in front of us, but that's what we're gonna do today. I can give you the Discord link. I can give you the Discord link if you want to do it in there. There you go, sweetie. You can go in there and do it if you want to. Alright, let me go to our queue. Queue. There is one more slot in the queue. And you don't have to use channel points for these either. So, Kate is first in the queue, and Kate is a subscriber, so she's gonna be first. So she's gonna be up first. The only thing is, when I do a queue, I do request some type of question, because they're all intuitive. So in order for me to tailor what I'm picking up to you specifically, a question is necessary. So what's your question, Kate, or things that you want some guidance on? You want to use the tranquil jazz? Is that what you want right now? Oh, Andrea, you joined. Cool. Perfect. You're gonna grab a snack, Tycho? That's fine, dear. So we'll give people a little bit of time to come up with their questions. Kate, if you have one. It just helps narrow down really broad information. It doesn't have to be the most detailed question in the world. It can just be something kind of specific. Hey Pete, welcome back, dear. I'm technically drinking a probiotic blend. This one is not organic, but it's non-GMO, but it was on clearance for 75 cents. So I picked it up. It's pineapple, water, apple, mango, banana, and that's it. So it's mostly fruit. Actually, it's all fruit. Hey, Forest Fairy. Hi, dear. Welcome in. You like the sunlight and my look today? Thank you so much, Pete. I'm wearing short sleeves because it's warm up here today. We're in the attic. What's causing you to procrastinate so much? Okay, so Kate feels like she's got some procrastination she's working through. Hey, River City Mystic, welcome in. Do you want your reading later, Kate? Or do you want me to do it anyway? And then we'll timestamp. Because you're a subscriber, so however you want to do it is fine. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it very much. Well, you do tarot too, don't you? River City? Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in. Thank you, Dragon, for that shout out. Hey, Epic Puffer. We're doing well today. We have a queue open. I did a card reading of the day for subscribers in Discord, and I really felt like the sunshine meditation like helped a lot today, because the amount of information I was getting from the cards was like way higher than I had been getting before. So I was like, maybe it's time for us to like really tune into this and you know, see what comes up for today. So that's currently what we are working on today. Thank you for your follow, River City. I appreciate that very much. Welcome back, Tygo. I don't think Kate said she had to go, so I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna actually take Kate out for a minute. And then she can come back in if we're still all live. Danger Bay, you're actually next then, hon. David, thank you so much, sweetie. So there is one more slot in the queue if you are interested. The queue is open to followers and subscribers, but subscribers are at the top, so they're gonna get read first. So, thank you, David. So Danger, if you want to ask your question, I think after that, it's gonna be Tygo, because Tygo is the next subscriber, and then Andrea, and then Dino, because Dino, you're in there, but you're gonna be waiting for our subscribers first, just for a second. Probably Dino, probably Hun, but yeah, I'll keep that in mind for when your reading comes up there. That's a good question though. I think you probably are. If you can't narrow down things, it's because there's too much going on in your head, and that can come through with anxiety, which can make it also harder for you to clear your mind, because now you've created a connection with your mind and your heart and your body all at the same time. So it can be kind of hard to rotate that around. You know what I mean? Like switch it. If you're not aware on how to do that. You're back, Kate. Oh, Kate. Okay. So Kate, since you're back, hon, can you type me up a question really quick, and then we'll do Danger. Okay, so we have Danger, who's asking about anxiety, basically, and Dino, who's asking about anxiety, too. You don't need priority. Okay, Tygo. Thank you, Forest Fairy, for that gift sub to Dino. That's so sweet. Thank you, thank you. I think both you and, I think Dino, both you and, are gonna have similar readings, maybe? Yeah. Yeah. These are anxious times indeed, yeah. Are ladybugs girls? I mean, they could be. Some of them probably are. Hey, Ara. How are you, sweetheart? Hi. I was gonna say they're probably like asexual. They don't really need to produce. So, Kate, did you hear me ask you if you had a particular question that you wanted to guide on? Oh, causing you to procrastinate, that's right. Alright, let's do that really quick. And then we'll do Danger. Procrastination and lack of action. Affecting your productivity. Hey, Morphman. Welcome in, hun. Oh, it's okay, Kate. I just took you out for a minute because I was like, I didn't know if you were coming back. It's We would like to receive the best message for Kate in regards to procrastination. There's obviously a blockage there that she would like some guidance on. So what kind of cards should we use to work on that? I think we need the tarot, traditional tarot. How do we join readings, Miss Umbra? There's one more slot. It's exclamation point join, hon. And you don't have to use your points today for that. So you don't have to use points today. We just kind of go with whatever feels right. So sometimes that would include tarot. Sometimes that would include tarot plus like an oracle card. Sometimes that would include multiple other items. So it looks like that's how it's gonna go. You just kind of pick whatever you're drawn to pick. I'm so glad you like Clockwork. Thank you for your loving messages as always. Your first reading from me, really, Ara? Aw, that's so sweet. Alright, so we're gonna focus in specifically for Kate, hon. So we'd like to get a card for guidance for Kate in regards to blockages. How is Kate gonna move through her blockages? Or what's causing, we need to figure out what's causing the blockage first. So what kind of things are causing blockages of procrastination? Wow. Wow. I think there's a lot of things going on. And I think all of these cards work. Let me just look at them for a second. Oh, really? It helped you that much, Dino? That's perfect. I'm so glad. I'm glad when that's how you know it was like exactly what you needed to hear, because I feel like if you're, and it depends, because some people need step-by-step guidance, and some people need like, hey, here's exactly what's going on, here's the energy you need to move forward. Some people need different types of guidance. So when I hear you say, hey, the reading last week helped me, I didn't need to ask anything else for a while, that just tells me that you know yourself well enough to drive yourself forward, as long as you get a really nice, clear, open concept of like what it is that you need to be doing. So, which is awesome. I'm glad that I was able to help you. I do too. See positivity and everything, yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna get clarification, Kate, on kind of what's going on here in this card. So I laid them out in this fashion because I feel this is an event that occurred. This is why it occurred. This is how you need to react, or what you need to remember. And then this card is like a struggle, like the main struggle that you're having after kind of these events here is kind of what I'm getting. So the first card here, Kate, is the Tower card. It's the Tower card. And I think this energy is just kind of broad. Like, I don't think necessarily this is like one catastrophic event that you can think of off the top of your head to correlate to some of the anxiety. I think it's just a conglomeration of the overall energy and everything going on at this point in time. Like, this feels like a overarching energy instead of something very direct in particular. Or it could also be multiple events instead of just one single event. This one is Shadowscapes. This deck is Shadowscapes, Miss Umbra. And it's very fitting for our painting as well. Our painting turned into the Tower card, basically. So again, I'm feeling like there's a lot of chaos going on. There's a lot of things crumbling and falling. There's a lot of foundations for people crumbling and falling. There's a lot of ways that people understand life and how life is supposed to work that's crumbling and falling. And that's just the whole energy of how things need to be. And this is the why kind of card. Okay. This is the Six of Wands. And I just want to point out something in this card. There's a triumphant individual standing at the top of this mound. And in this mound is actually like a dead lion is what it looks like. It almost looks like a mechanical lion. So I kind of look at this as through the death and decay and you know, ashes, if you want to say ashes for the phoenix, we can stand and grow triumphantly and allow ourselves to rebuild through that. Like sometimes you have to dig. It's kind of like, I'm also getting like a reuse and recycle kind of feel going on. So sometimes things that ended need to end all the way, but we can still take parts of those things. Just because things end doesn't mean that they were all bad and all not good for us. We can still recycle some of those things. It's just recycle the useful parts that were good instead of, and use those parts to build instead of completely just letting everything fall away. Because not everything that ends, you know, not everything that ends or everything that burns down or everything that gets torn down needs to never be touched again. I'm getting like a use of like a recycle kind of feel. So maybe for you in particular, you're seeing things ending and you're seeing processes stop and you're seeing, you know, kind of the death of whatever it is you've been so focused on recently. I'm kind of getting the need that this is for balance sake, because a lot of things that were working weren't actually working completely to your favor. So this was to balance things out, and it's time to recycle things and build from those recycled materials or objects. I'm going to ask for anything specific in this card. Are you wearing a lot of black? Kate, are you wearing a lot of black? It's a very interesting question for me to ask, but I'm asking for a specific reason. You mean you guess you do? Or dark purple? I feel like maybe there's some absorption there. Like black is, if you guys don't know, like colors hold a vibrancy and a frequency, right? Colors hold frequency and vibrancy. So if you wear a lot of darker colors, those actually absorb. So if you wear it's like the same thing. If you wear a dark colored shirt in the sun, you absorb all the heat. It's the same thing. If you're wearing constantly dark colored clothes, you're absorbing all the energies and frequencies around you. So I'm kind of really getting drawn to tell you, like, switch up what you are wearing, and especially when you're out around other people. So that kind of came to me, which I find interesting, because I was just gonna say, there's a reason why yogis wear white, guys. Look it up. There's a reason why yogis wear white, because they want to reflect, they want to have their own energy, and they want to reflect that out. They want to be a reflective surface instead of an absorbing surface, basically. So I find it interesting that I just said this, and this person is wearing white. Like they're wearing like this little white cloth. Yeah. Hey, Young Tom Serval, welcome in. Yeah, Morphman agrees too, yeah. So I feel like you need to find your own strength, and I feel like a clothing change. I'm not saying never wear black or never wear dark colors. I'm just saying, like, be mindful and be aware of like how that could possibly be ineffective for you. You know, I do feel like you need to be searching for your strength right now. I feel like switching up your wardrobe could help you with that. Now, this card is the Strength card. I feel like you need to understand that you are a strong person, and you need to recognize that for yourself. You need to recognize that for yourself. And you need to be okay with allowing other strong people into your space, even though they don't seem to match you 100%. Does that make sense to you? Like, you want people around you, strong individuals around you, but maybe their ideology doesn't quite match up, or you feel hesitant because something doesn't quite fit right, and you're not sure if that means that you should be careful of them or not. What I'm getting is those people are supposed to be there with you. Little differences between you guys doesn't really matter. Stick around your strong people. Like, even if you don't match up ideologically wise, like, they're still strong people, and those are good people to have around. People who know who they are and don't waver. Those are good people to have around. As long as they're not like pushing you to believe the same way that you do, like, that's still a good thing to have around you. So I wouldn't be worried about that, if that helps you. I wouldn't be worried about that at the moment. So let those people come around you. If you find that, I feel like they will help you. If you find that they're trying to push you in one direction, you know, to really believe what they believe, obviously that's not okay. But it is okay to have people who have strong knowledge in who they are and really believe what they believe. And it's okay to have those kind of people around you, because they'll also help you grow that within yourself. I'm glad, Meta. I'm glad, dear. So that's what you need to recognize. Recognize strong people around you and how strong you are, Kate. And that'll help you through some of your blockages. Also, I feel like switching up your wardrobe would also help. So here's your main blockage. Here's your main blockage that you need to work on right now, Kate. This is the 9 of Swords. This is the main message I'm getting from this card. You have a lot of worries, and you have a lot of fears, and you have a lot of doubts. Like, you have strong people, but you doubt to make a really strong connection with them to a certain extent, because things don't quite match up how you expect, instead of accepting those beautiful, strong people for who they are. And you also feel like you're a strong person, but you doubt. And you also have a lot of worries. And what I'm getting from this card in particular, this deck is Shadowscapes. The main theme of this card, Kate, is you need to give those worries away. You need to, like, send them away. Like, give them to the universe. Like, give them to spirit. Give them to the angels. Give them to God. Give them to, it doesn't matter. I don't care who you give it to. but you need to give it to like the higher power at this point in time. You need to give it to whoever you connect with on that level, on that higher level. You need to give it to them and say, hey, these are all the things I need help with. I can't keep them and resolve them in my own mind right now. They're affecting how I feel, which makes it even harder for me to work through. So what we're gonna do today is I'm just gonna give it to you to deal with and trust that you're gonna take care of it, basically, is what you need to be doing right now. Because right now it's just working itself in a circle, and I think once you give it away, it's gonna be taken care of. It's gonna be taken care of. Yeah, because they're really connected to your, too many worries are strictly connected to your heart at the moment. You could do also meditations on the heart chakra to help heal it. There's one in particular I've been listening to where it's a guided meditation where your guide or your higher entity helps heal your heart chakra, like for you. And it's a really beautiful meditation. I have bawled my eyes out during that meditation quite a few times, so that could also really help. That is on Insight Timer, which I share in Discord. I can probably share it after the stream, but I feel like that will also help. So your main block is just not letting go of these fears and worries, and it's consuming you. It's consuming your mind mostly, but it's also starting to affect your heart as well. So it's becoming linked together, which is why it's becoming so hard to break through, because the heart and the mind are becoming linked together with this. So it's time to pass that along to the higher realms at this point in time. So yes, I will link it in Discord. I will link it again in Discord. But Kate, that's basically what I'm getting for you, hon. I hope that is very helpful. I do think the heart chakra meditation will help a lot. And you can even just write it out in a journal, like, hey, this is what is really bothering me at this moment, and I don't know what to do about it, and I really want to just let it go and give it to you, and I just want to let it go and give it to you, because I can't hold it in my heart anymore, and it will help you work through that. It's just like my advice, right? It's okay. The cards are, here's how it works, right? Here's how it works, honestly, which is probably why you're okay with the card readings. I don't technically know what any of these cards mean. Okay? I don't technically know what any of these cards mean. Hey Sin, Miss Sin, how are you, dear? Miss Sin does card readings too, guys. This is me gathering interpretations from the cards. That's a tool, and I use what the information is coming in to provide not only what the card's telling me, but also sound advice on how I have worked through this process myself, which is why I think it's so helpful for most people, you know, because I'm not just spilling out card readings, I'm also saying, hey, I've done this myself, and here's how I worked through that. So I hope that helps. I know you have an appointment, Kate. You're welcome, hon. You're welcome. You're welcome. Seems like a good time for a card reading. I'm only gonna do the Q today, but you guys can do the redemptions. You guys can do the redemptions at any other time while we're streaming. But we're doing the Q today. If I have time, though, I'll go back and do the redemptions if we get through the queue fast enough. Yes. Doesn't this card, Miss Sin, if you had to pick a tarot card for this painting, which card would you pick? I'm just curious if everyone's picking up on the same energy of the painting. I'm just curious. Goodbye, Kate. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, hon. I will put you out of the queue. Actually, you were already out of the queue. So Danger is next. Danger has anxiety as well. So Danger, I feel like that card reading could also be very helpful to you, but we will get some cards for you as well. Tower, yeah, that's exactly what we're getting to. Tycho's like 4 of Pentacles. Tycho's just gonna throw a brain answer out there. It's okay. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tycho, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I mean, maybe to you. You see a giant spider in space? It does kind of look like a giant spider in space, doesn't it? The blue electric shock lines are beautiful. I know, I really like them. We're adding in some of that to our purple as well. I might do little zigzag lines in there too. Ooh, sorry. That's okay, Danger. That's okay, huh? We'll see what the cards say for you. Now I'm going to switch our music because this last of the CD is kind of really distracting to try and read with. Oh no, Rye, I was not thinking that you were being disrespectful at all. Not even a little bit, hon. We don't have to 100% be on the same page in order to have respect for each other. I totally understand where you're coming from. I am okay with it. I'm glad that you feel the need to apologize just in case, or, you know, check in just in case, but no, we're good, hon. I'm not worried at all. If I expected everybody to agree with 100% with what I do and what I say, I would be in for a very rude awakening, wouldn't I? Very rude awakening. Let's listen to Nature Symphony, and then I'll focus on Danger. You think it's lovely too? It definitely has lots of energy in it. Sin, yeah. Okay, I think the CD will help better. The end of that CD gets really distracting, so I'm gonna have to remember not to use that one when I'm doing card readings. Forest Free, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. That was so kind. Jen and CJ got one. That is so perfect. Oh, and Katsumuto has one too. That's nice. Aw. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What cards? What cards do we need to focus on for Danger? Okay. Danger Bay. This sounds like a very particular event for Danger, so Danger is looking for some guidance on how to deal with the anxiety of a particular event or process that has occurred in their younger years. Like, how do they work through that? Some of that anxiety is still coming back through, so we're looking to see how they can work through that. So what cards do we feel drawn to do? It's definitely going to be tarot, and then I feel like maybe at the end we'll do an oracle. Hey, Craftsmatic Cat. Welcome in, dear. Alright, so we want to tune in for Danger Bay. I'm going to reset the deck first. I said I was resetting. Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like after you were kind of saying, well, it was happened at a particular time, so. Okay, I think that's meaning that we're done. Alright, Danger. How is Danger going to work through the event that caused anxiety as a child? What other cards do we have for Danger? Maybe 4 cards? Maybe we should stick to 4 cards? Okay, here's what I'm getting. Let me draw a... Well, let me share what I'm getting first. Okay. I'm getting 2 different, like, ideas from this card. So this is the Emperor, right? This is the Emperor. I feel both like this is the, almost like the energy that you feel you should carry, but I also got like Father from this card. So I feel like whatever the event was, both of your parents had different outcomes for how to handle the situation, or like different thought processes for how to deal with the situation, and they were very much a little bit opposed. Like, they were totally different perspectives and different ways of handling it. I feel like a part of you maybe says that you understand where your mom's coming from, but you maybe are leaning more towards reacting or directly correlating to your father and how he was processing the event at that time. Like, you're kind of correlating, I think by choice, with that kind of energy instead. So I see this is very grounded. This is very, like, action oriented. This is very earthy. This is very much, this is very direct. Like, I got in specific, like, there's a cycle here, and that's just the way things are. It's just a cycle, and that's just the way things are. Like, everything has its own place, kind of energy, specifically with the Emperor. And then with the Queen of Swords, this feels more like spirit, or like ethereal. Because like this card had a physical tree and branches, and he's wearing a very red robe, reddish brown robe, which is also very earthy and grounding. This one, on the other hand, is like very ethereal, very magical, very spiritual, very spirit related, very, very whimsical, but at the same time, this also has a circle, right? Circle above the head. They both have these circles above the head, except this one's very stagnant, standard, organized, like it's made in a particular way. This one, however, is a little more freeform, and it's even broken. So I kind of feel like your mom is more open to understanding that the cycle of life might not quite be how we currently understand it. You know, the cycle of life doesn't necessarily have to be as concrete as maybe your dad thinks that it is. Like, she's open to the fact that there could be more to the cycle, and she is okay with kind of bridging that gap. Like, not only does she do that, but she also is one who bridges that gap. Like, I would almost say, like, she is the one in the family who has like more of a psychic side, or at least is open to it, or could even be one who, you know, is okay with crossing into that avenue, crossing into that avenue. Whereas I don't think this person would even consider that a thing. If that makes sense. I'm getting the feeling like she works with ancestors. She works very closely with ancestors, and they help her a lot. And they actually help her create things in her life. She's very metaphysical. Like, she gets into rituals and things like that, I think, too. So these are very, very, very opposite types of people. Yeah. Being psychic has never been proven. Katsumoto. You can just chill, hun. You can just chill and hang out with us. So, the card I got was the Hermit card. And it was in reverse, but I don't really read reverse cards. I got the Hermit card. I feel like, here's what I honestly feel. I feel like you have experienced life through both your father's eyes and your mother's eyes. Like, you've seen the practicality of life, and you've lived your life in a way that allows you to experience the very practical things in life. But you've also been open to your mom's side of life as well, so I do feel like you've also had experiences on equal parts. And I feel like maybe because I feel like maybe they didn't always, I feel like maybe there's like, they didn't always agree with each other. And so maybe when you were younger there was a little bit of arguing between what was going on and and what each partner was doing, but I feel like eventually that kind of tapered off and it just became like a subject that just didn't get talked about. And so like it just became non-discussable. You know what I mean? Not during readings, Katsumoto. We're here to offer guidance. That's currently what we're doing right now. So, not at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, it just became something that was just not discussed anymore. I do feel like because of that, you were very much in a hermit phase. Like you spent a lot of time alone because there was a lot of things to contemplate. You know, who's right? What way is right? Which direction is actually right? Because these are both very strong people. These are very strong people. So I don't think a compromise would have ever come about. Because these are very strong people who stand in what they know. And I feel like maybe the parent figure, the father figure, might have been a little more domineering over trying to make sure everyone is doing what he thinks is best. Whereas I think mom was pretty much like, everyone can just do their own thing. Like, you can still do your thing and I can still do my thing and everything will be okay. And I feel like that was something that you had to struggle with in balancing within yourself. I feel like you had experiences that your mom tried to nurture in the side of being metaphysical that your dad was pretty much not okay with. And so then you became afraid that it wouldn't be accepted, or that you would not be accepted. And I feel like now it's coming to be a point of reliving. You're basically at the point now, Danger, where you're trying to decide if you really, what perspective you really want to take on life right now. You are like reliving emotionally this same choice because you kind of are getting a little bit of both. Like, you're not getting real deep into the metaphysical, maybe like you were when you were a kid. So you're kind of wondering if maybe it's even something for you anymore at this point in time, because the connection is not as strong as it once was. So you're kind of deciding, okay, is this something I really want to grow, or is this something I don't want to grow? Is this an aspect of myself that I want to create and person that I want to be, or is this something that I don't? And I think you're trying to weigh that out right now, and I think right now it's really important for you to really figure that out by spending lots of time, you know, in your own space. And look, there's another cycle in this card too. Except this circle isn't around your head. You don't have to stick with the opinions of others being in your mind. You can let life formulate that later. You don't have to have everything figured out on if this is true or not. You don't have to have that figured out right now. Life can show you as you go. Just spend time in yourself and do what feels right. Life will show you in its own way what is true. I do feel like specifically you're trying to work on sight, like seeing things in particular, which might also be a little bit scary. But I do see that that's something that you'll need to really reflect on. I almost get the feeling like you also have, because your mom has done lots of work with ancestors, you also have ancestors who are kind of slowly guiding you along the way, and they are okay with the fact that you want to be in the middle right now. They are totally okay with the fact that you want to be in the middle right now. They're okay with that. Their life, and they will guide you as necessary, and you'll get events in your life that help you make more direct choices, but it's okay to be in the middle right now. So the last card is the Nine of Wands for you. There is, because of multiple perspectives that you've had in particular, so Katsumoto, you are very focused in the mind right now, and what is actually accurate, instead of listening to the full-blown message, you're focusing on like very specific mindful words. So instead of understanding that ancestors could be whatever you feel it to be, you're very stuck on finding out exactly what that is. And I think what you need to understand is the card readings and the messages and life in general is directly correlated to how each individual views it. So hopefully that helps you understand like how this works. I hope so. I hope so. Because there's not really a way for me to define that, because each individual defines it on their own. And that's the magic of it. So with the balance of being in the physical or being in the spiritual, you have a really great balance and a great balanced mindset. And I feel like because of this, I wouldn't find it as a weakness, I would find it as a strength and use it to your advantage. Like, don't be upset that you feel like you're in the middle right now. Like, don't feel like you have to choose one path or the other path right now. You don't. It's okay to be in the middle. In fact, I think that's where you're supposed to be right now, because it's going to make you a really strong leader. Because you're going to understand multiple perspectives of like counter arguments on both sides, which is actually really amazing. You're going to understand counter arguments on both sides, and I feel like that's going to make you a very strong leader in the future. And it makes you a strong leader now. That's what I just got. It makes you a strong leader now. So I would use that to your full advantage. Stop thinking about it as you need to pick one or the other, and stop seeing it as a weakness, because it's actually a strength, and it's where you're supposed to be, and things will unfold as necessary, and you can evaluate things as they come up for you. So be okay with experimentation in the way it's comfortable for you. Don't force yourself down all the way down one road or all the way down the other, because I think the road that you're actually supposed to be on is the road of neutrality and being as neutral as possible. I think that's the good thing for you right now at the moment. Thank you, Cassie, so much for your subscription, dear. I appreciate that very much. Welcome in. Perfect. I understand you're trying to go for something concrete, but the way that the card readings work is very individual based, and so that's why it makes it hard to have everybody understand it, because the card reading is specifically for that one individual, and however you want to interpret it is how it's supposed to be interpreted, which can be really hard when you're somebody who's like really logical mindset kind of wise,
it can be really hard to understand what's going on. However, I think your heart can understand that being neutral, especially, I'm glad you popped in actually, Katsumoto, with that reading, because that whole reading was about Danger Bay using their mind to understand the world, as well as their heart and spirit to understand the world. So they're figuring out how to balance the two worlds and be as neutral as possible. And that's kind of, I think, something that you can correlate to, you know what I mean? Like, you're also very logical and very precise and very direct. So it's also maybe something that you find yourself trying to work on as well, because your mind wants to understand every last detail, which is amazing because we need people like that. But at the same time, like, it can be hard to let some of that go and let your heart speak first and tell you what things mean, which is kind of what I think Danger is trying to balance out in their own way. That was very relevant. Exactly, Danger, yes. That's right, because there's, we always get some pain sometimes, don't we? I understand that, Katsumoto. I understand that. You're welcome, Danger. I think it's okay. Where you're at is okay. Don't stress out so much. It's a good thing that that you're in that place right now. And I think that's where I think the cards are trying to say that's where you should be. And it's perfect for you. So view it as being perfect. That reading was quite interesting, yeah. Just being curious is okay. Yeah. Yeah, it can be hard. It can be hard. So Dino, you are a subscriber now, hon, because of your gift sub. So go ahead and ask me your question. Then Tygo is after. And then Andrea, and then Miss Umbra, and then Ara. No, I don't think you're hating, Katsumoto. I don't think you're hating at all. I think you are very much just in your mind trying to wrap around what is exactly going on, and you're trying to see how you can make a connection and correlate with that. That's what I'm seeing with what you're saying. So I'm not offended at all. It's hard for me to jump from your mindset to my current mindset when I'm doing a reading. So that's why I had to be like very specific, like, hey, the interpretations are individual based. Like, I can't pop out of the reading and like explain every little detail to you at the moment. Is kind of really what I was trying to say. You guys are stressing yourself too much. That's right, you did say that, didn't you, dear? Thank you for the follow, Laura. I appreciate you very much. Welcome in. That's true, yeah. There's a lot of chaos right now. Like, I think that there's a reason why we painted such a chaotic painting. You know. Huh. Yeah, ethereal. It's okay. Don't feel silly. Hey, if you are asking, that is a perfect thing to do, because that means you understand that you could possibly be not using the medicine in the way that it's supposed to be used anymore. You realize that there's a crutch there. And instead of just accepting it, you're kind of saying, hey, how do I work through that medicine being beneficial again instead of being a crutch? That is a fine thing to ask. That's a fine thing to ask. My first question would be to you guys, how much ecotherapy are you doing? How much are you going outside? How much are you feeling the warmth of the sun on your body? That's the first question I want to ask. That's the first question I want to ask. Because if you're not doing that, do that first. Because if you are not doing that enough, do that first. And bring the meditations with you outside. You know, bring the music, bring the nice music with you outside. Watch the birds. Just be birds. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, talk to the bird. You talk to birds. Who cares if you're talking to birds? I talked to the birds in my front yard this morning, and my neighbors probably thought I was crazy, but I do not care. Alright, so let's get Dino's his card. You wish you could befriend the crows. I had a robin come really close to me this morning, but he was still nervous. I think if I do it every day, he would probably be okay with it. I think every individual person should just start their own thing. It's called spirituality. Each individual person should start their own journey to find out what they really want in life. I think it sounds too easy, ethereal, honestly. It sounds too easy to be true, but I guarantee you that is gonna help. I guarantee you, it sounds way easier. It sounds too good to be true, you know? Like, you're like, it can't be that easy. No. There has to be some complex something for me to do. Some complex concept. Like I have to focus at the top of my crown and breathe in 15 times and then take 3 deep breaths. And no, guys. No. I promise it is way easier than that. I promise. Now, if you want to experiment with doing that and it makes you feel great, perfect. If not, then go the easy route, you know? Just be you and be calm and be out in nature. If you want to experiment doing all the other stuff, that's fine. Is it? The crows? That's crazy. They drop nuts in a car and crush it to collect it. They're smart indeed. That's nuts. That's nuts. Alright, let's focus on Dino's card reading. You're in, Ara. You're in, dear. Alright. So Dino is admitting that they are like stressed out to the max right now. Like they are stressed. So let's figure out, let's do this first. What exactly is stressing them out the most at the moment? Like what's exactly causing their anxiety at the moment? Ooh, you are in your head, in your head. You're worried about money. Okay. And growing, being able to continue to grow the things that you're working on. 4 cards. Let's get, okay, so now that we know those things, can we get, what is helping them at this point in time? Like, what's a strength, an item that's helping them at this moment in time? Perfect. And then just one more card. yours has lots of practical advice, Dino, which I think is going to be really helpful for you. Yours is very practical. Yours is extremely practical, which I think is going to be excellent for you in particular. So, here you go, dear. So I asked what is causing what is the main item that you need to work on that is causing your anxiety? And we got the King of Swords. If you just look at this card, this person has beautiful ideas in their mind, but this person also has a lot of doubts and fears that are kind of growing and like starting to overtake everything, and making it hard for them to want to grow the things that they want to be doing. So I feel like you have ideas. Everyone has extra free time right now, whether they believe that or not, they do. So you have brilliant ideas, creative ideas that you want to be putting energy into, but you're not. Or you have started to, but then you've stopped. Or you've started to figure out a process, but slowly you've kind of let that fall away. And it's because you are allowing negative ideas and thoughts and doubts and worries. You're allowing those to start to absorb in. And I think this has been like a slow process over time, like a slow leak kind of thing, basically. And I think you're feeling the weight of the slow leak come in, where you're like, okay, I've let too much of this come in, and now I don't know what to do with it. I also feel like there's a correlation here, specifically with money. Like with your creative ideas and avenue, you've started to worry about how you're going to get the funds to really allow your ideas to come forward and grow. So, it could be that maybe financially things have slowed down, so in a panic, you've kind of stopped funding. You've kind of like panic stopped funding. You've like cut the water off with the dam. You've like cut the flow of money off to this project like pretty instantaneously, I feel. So you feel like parts of what you were growing have died off because of that. And what I'm getting from this which is interesting, because this card here talks about the Five of Cups. I always talk about, this card has the overall feeling for me of letting go of things with love. Like letting go of things that were once important to you and maybe are still important to you, letting them go with love. So I think these kind of go in correlation. No, I'm not saying stop your passion project. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there are certain aspects of your project that you used to love but you don't love anymore. And so you're kind of hoping that that love will just come back for those parts, and it's not. It's time to let those parts go. So what I'm getting in particular is, right now, you need to be very particular on what you are feeding. So even though you used to love things, or you used to put a lot of energy into something and it gave you great joy, and now it's not, that just means it's time to take a break from it, step away from it, stop putting money into it, stop putting energy into it, and gently let it go. Because what is meant to be in your life is going to come back to you. So even if you let it go for right now, doesn't mean that you won't have a fire come up later and you're like, I should go back and do that thing. That doesn't mean that this isn't going to come back. I feel like right now, the practical thing that you need to do is really investigate what those things are and cut them off for now, because not only is that going to help you place your energy better into things that are giving you what you need, it's also going to help you with your finances as well. So if you're not dumping into those items financially anymore, you then make room for the things that are actually beneficial to you. So I do think there are ways that you can it's kind of like pruning a plant. Like it's like pruning a plant. Like if you ever owned a house plant and you see some of the plant start to like die off and brittle and get old and it's not growing anymore and it's not really doing much for the plant, I'm getting kind of like this is a pruning process for you. And Dino, I think this card is going to be, I think this card's going to be interesting, Dino, because I'm wondering, this card here is my music card. So automatically I want to ask you, is the project you're working on in correlation to music? Because this is very much my music card. This is very much my music card. No music? Does your heart say you should make music though? Is what I'm asking, Dino. Hey CJ, welcome in, dear. Sorry guys, I've been like... You listen to music while writing? Okay. Is writing your creative avenue then? Hey CJ, thank you for the host, dear. Tonight the moon won't shine because you really see Fairlight in the skyline. Aw, I like how that rhymes, Fairlight. I'm waiting for Dino to answer my question in particular. Okay. Okay. If that's the case then, if that's the case then, right now, since you already have kind of like a hard time with your mind at the moment being clear, this card then, if it's not you making music, it's being really picky about the music around you. So make sure that the music you're listening to makes you feel good. Makes you feel good. Because that's also going to be extremely helpful at this point in time. Or is it like performance? I also got performance. Is it something where you would have to perform? Like, are you writing like a screenplay or like a book, or like, is it something that's going to be like in the public eye, like a performance of some kind? Because I've also read this card before as a play, like someone who's in theater. Just a book. Okay. Okay, then this card would represent the book. Because this is the main focus. So I would let a lot of other things go in order to ensure that the book can survive the current outcome. So whatever you have to do to make that happen is what I would do. I do feel like, though, if you reevaluate your finances, you'll figure out places where you can cut back on some things fairly easily. You'll just have to, that's your practical advice. is cut out things that are not necessary at the moment, so that what you really want can survive the circumstances of now, basically. I hope that helped you, Dino. I hope that helped you, dear. Oh, Swears Terry, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Or if you're having I just got this, if you're having a hard time picking up the emotion or energy of something, music could help you do that, which you probably already do at the moment. Do you like the, did you get one? Cosmetic. That's so great. That's so great. I'm glad you did. Thank you so much, Forest Fairy. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. That's kind of what I'm getting. That's kind of what I'm getting. Yeah, there's things that you're putting energy into that you don't get anything out of. Like they don't give you anything, so yeah. It's time to prune the plant. You think the cam's out of focus? Oh, did I move it? I'll move it back. Let me thank you, Dino, so much, hon, for letting me read you. Tycho, you are next, hon. And then we're gonna close the queue. So Tara's the last one in the queue. Hey, Tycho, dear. Yes, drop your question. It can be as broad or as specific as you need it to, but I need some kind of direction. Save the best for last, Tara. Are the redemption points? Oh, I'm not doing channel points today, Sen. I'm sorry, dear. I don't have time for that today. I don't have time to do channel points and a full queue while it's open. But you guys will get your points back. Did you miss it again because of the dishes? You did not miss it. You did not miss it. Yeah, when I have a queue open, I don't do channel points. So everybody who put in points, you're gonna get them. I'm gonna give them back to you at the end of the stream. Yeah. But then you can just use those points on a different day when we don't have a. Like, you guys can literally get redemptions even if I'm not doing a tarot day. Like, that's the point of the points. Whereas if I'm doing a tarot day, that's for those of you who maybe don't have points or like have something very specific and you want an actual full kind of reading for that. You know, that's kind of the point of it. Yeah. Yeah, so don't worry. If you dumped in points, you'll just get them back. How many have I done? I think this is going to be number 3. So they take a while. Wondering about my mental health, trying to reflect on myself, unable to figure out how to fix it. What is standing in my way of optimal health? Optimal mental health? We can do that, Tycho. Hey, Purple Moon, welcome to the treehouse, hon. Alright, let's do that. Yeah, they do take a lot of time. Yeah, we've been live for a while. But I take a minute to... And here's the difference between, yeah, three readings in an hour and 25 minutes. Like, I am not speed reading, guys, okay? You're not putting yourself in the queue to have me just verbatim read cards off of you to you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going in and saying, okay, how does this card correlate directly to your question? And then I'm getting the meaning that the card is giving to me. And then I'm taking another step further and saying, okay, in accordance with what the card is saying, here's how it correlates directly to you and what you can do with it, basically. So it's not like other streams where it's like, okay, here's the general meaning of the card, which takes me like 5-10 minutes and on to the next person. That's not how my readings work. That is not how I ever really want my readings to work, which is why my cues are smaller. Right? So you get lots of devoted time to you. You know what I mean? Lots of devoted time to you. I'm not in a rush. I'm not rushing your reading along. So. Yeah. You just think it's interesting, the process of how different people work. I understand, Sin, yeah. But for those who are popping in and are like, only 3 readings? What are we doing? Are we chatting a lot in between? A little bit, but at the same time, like, a lot of it is spent on the actual one-on-one reading, so. Yeah. Okay, Tycho. So I'm gonna focus on Tycho. Tycho, I feel like you need an oracle card first, so that's what I'm gonna draw first. The oracle cards are slightly different than the tarot. Okay. But you're gonna get tarot too. You're gonna get tarot and an oracle, but I'm feeling like we should draw oracle first. So we want to draw a card for Tycho. It's going to relay the best guidance for optimal health, optimal mental health for Tycho at this period of time. So a oracle card, one oracle card in the deck that would be able to assist with that. That would be the best assistance for that. Whoa, that one's a powerful one. You have cookies and cream ice cream? Mmm. 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 Direction. Tycho. Direction. And this card dares to ask, where are you going? Have you made up your mind yet on where you want to be going? Have you made that choice yet? This has a lot of just the overall energy of that kind of question has a lot of a lot of feeling of stagnation or like sameness, like doing the same routine or like doing the same thing or being still and like maybe waiting for direction instead of taking direction. I like how you said that, and I was drawn to the hearts. This individual has hearts coming out of their mind. So what I was getting from that is bring loving thoughts to yourself right now is what you need to do. Thank you for following, Serial. Welcome to the treehouse, dear. So you need to have, Tycho. Hey, J. Anthony. Welcome in, dear. You need to have more loving thoughts towards yourself. More loving thoughts. Allow the loving thoughts to come in. And I'm getting a lot of clothing messages today. Like, wear red. Like, cloak yourself in love. Maybe do a meditation where you just cloak yourself in nice self-love pink. Like nice self-love pink or red. The heart is even at the very forefront of the mind. So there's a lot of self-love focus that needs to come in. A lot of self-love focus that needs to come in. And I do feel like that's going to be helpful for the most part. I think that's going to be the most helpful for you right now. But let's do some regular tarot cards and see if we can get anything else. Alright. Looking for guidance for Tycho. Any messages for Tycho that we want to relay? Oh, that's definitely one of them. Aw. You're beating yourself up too much, Tycho. You're beating yourself up way too much. Like, way too much. You need to stop. Like, way too much. Hun. Hun. Your favorite shirt is red? Wear red. Wear your favorite color. Wear your favorite color. I did get wear red. Do things that make you feel good. And be nice to yourself. Because this is really what you're doing right now. This is the Five of Pentacles. This is like depression. It can be depression. It can be beating oneself up. It can be sadness. It can be lost in one's thoughts, like self-loathing. It can just be really. You can just be really hard on yourself. This also has a feeling of like this isn't complete defeat, but at the same time, like, there's an energy here of stagnance. Yeah. You're gonna eat. Okay, Sin. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all being here. I really do. I really do. Anything else for Tycho? One more. Can we get 2 more cards for Tycho that we can relay good messages for? There's a lot of the same cards coming out. You have a lot of, Tycho, you have a lot of internal work to do. And you also have, you have things from the past to let go of, as well as current people to slowly distance yourself from, is what I'm getting. So, this card in particular is the Magician. And what I get from this card is remembering that you are powerful enough to create what it is that you want, right? A magician is someone who creates magic. They are a very powerful person. They often, when you want to, like, this is just an example, right? Often when you want to create a spell, you know what it is you want to create with that spell. Like, you have an intention behind what you want to create. You don't just go willy-nilly casting magic. Like, you just, you know what I mean? Like, that's not how maybe chaos magicians would do that, but in regards to this card, you have very particular things that you want to be creating, which is why you need to focus on your self-love and really getting clear about how you care for yourself. That's going to help you get direction, and through that direction you're going to realize your own power through that, and you'll have an easier time to actually create the things that you want to be creating. And realize that this is being a magician, like being someone who creates life magically through their intentions. And this is something that everybody does, right? You get in a relationship for a reason. You get a job for a reason. That reason is intention, right? I get this job with the intention of getting money. I get this job for the intention of, you know, having a roof over my head. I get in this relationship to have the intention of, you know, the reason for whatever that happens to be. This is what everyone naturally does. So understand that even though you don't feel like you're creating much in your life, you are. It's just, are you correlating to what you're creating in your life to your heart? Is it making you feel good? And if it's not, if it's feeling like you're not creating anything, understand that that is actually what you're creating. If you feel stagnant, understand that that is what you are actually creating for yourself. So there's a need for reflection, self-reflection, and a lot of healing, so that your heart can actually, you can hear your heart and know what your heart's actually wanting you to be doing. So these cards together kind of work together. Hey Amy Miko, welcome to the treehouse, huh? These cards kind of work together a little bit. So this is the 5 of Cups, this one here. And I'm getting the same energy from this card that I got in the other reading, is sometimes we have to let things go. Sometimes we have to let things go. Hey, the Bergsberg, welcome to the treehouse, dear. And let them go lovingly. You know what I mean? Like, let them go with serenity. Because, like, if you look at this card, like, look at the picture, and let the picture tell you a story, basically. Hey, Leo Deuce, welcome to the treehouse. So this is a very loving kind of stance. This individual has a very downward glance at the fish in the bowl. And the story of this card is saying, hey Ixar, welcome in, dear. The story of this card is saying, fish, I understand that you are a fish, and the bowl that you're currently living in is a little small for you, and it's preventing you from growing bigger. You need more space in order to become a big fish. You need to explore the ocean. And even though I love having you as my pet fish, I understand that you have this need and that it's best for you. And even though you can't be my pet fish in the same way anymore, I understand putting you in the ocean will make you happy, a happier fish. And because that's going to make you a happier fish, I am willing to do that. That's kind of what this whole story of this card is. So I feel like that is kind of the energy you need to have and the story you need to tell yourself. Like, you need to sit down with yourself and say, hey, Tygo, little fish, I love you so much, but understand right now that you are literally confining yourself to a very tiny bowl. And you are much better than that. You are much better than that. Go out into the big sea and be a big fish. Because that's what's best for you. And that's what I want you to have. That is basically like what this one is saying. It's a very lovely conversation that I think you need to have. Yes, Tygo, yes. Yes. This is like you talking to your heart right now and like understanding, and you're not saying it, you're not saying, gosh darn it, Tygo, you are a fish and you've been in this bowl and you just need to gosh darn get yourself out of that bowl. This is not that kind of talk. This is a talk that says, hey, you've been in this bowl, it's time for you to go. Let me help you place you in the ocean. So this is not an aggressive way to do it. This is a loving, open way to do it. Because I think you've been kind of, you've been hard on yourself enough. And it's not a bad thing that you're in the bowl. It's a bad thing that you talk down to yourself while you're in the bowl. That's the bad thing. So this is really a process that I see you going through. And I think it's going to be a beautiful one for you. And I think it's necessary. And it's necessary. It's very necessary. And this has a very tranquil kind of energy to it too. The final card, I think is going to come later for you. I think this is where you are going to be moving through now. And I think this is going to come later. Or at least keep this as a reminder that this is something that you're going to need to also work on. But you can work on this card after you've kind of found your peace, right? One step at a time kind of thing. So after you get through this, this is going to be your next card. You have people in your life that you've made connections with that the purpose for those people being in your life is not going to serve you anymore. And you'll need to carry this same energy with them that you do with yourself. So like people who had a particular role in your life. So like maybe a best friend. You're like, hey, best friend, you're helping me. You became my best friend because we share something together, or we have an equal intention to have with each other. Like, my best friend listens to me and we go out and have a good time, and we allow each other to kind of escape from life. This is kind of just a general energy, but I think you'll find that some people's roles, very particular roles they have in your life, are not going to suit you anymore. And you'll need to remember to keep peace with that and send them off with love in the same way that you set yourself free with love, is what I'm getting for you, Tycho. And I feel like that's how you're going to really get yourself in a good, healthy spot. You have a lot of heart healing to do, and that's going to take time, but I think you're more than capable of doing it, and I think you already understand that. I just don't think that you understood how directly correlated maybe it might have been. But this is kind of saying, like, it's time now to work on that. Did you cuddle? Like a past life? I hope that helps. Do you need anything that needs clarification? I hope that helps you a lot. We are on cue today. Sorry, yeah, but I closed it because we're already going to be going over. I'm so glad it helps, Tycho, hon. I don't think you've ever had a reading that you understood as well as this one. I take my time. This is why I take my time. This is why I take my time. That's why I take my time. I'm glad it was a good one for you. I hope it was very helpful. It sounds like it was. If you guys need any other clarification, don't hesitate to ask. But this is a really good example of like how I read things, you know. Okay, good. Yes. And we're here to help each other, okay? I'm legit here to help. So like, I started making new channels in Discord. I made a channel for like other people who want to read cards and like practice the same thing. I made channels for that. I made channels for people who just want to have somebody just like listen to them, right? I made specific channels just for that because like I want to grow people who want to connect to themselves and show other people how to connect to themselves too, because that's what I'm doing. I am just connecting to myself and knowing and sharing what is coming to me and also my own experience, which is like the best way that I think that can work. So if you've noticed things changing in Discord, like that's why it's gearing towards those kind of things, is because I want you guys to be able to do kind of what I'm doing and know that it's possible. Because I can tell you right now, I'm just connecting to myself. So I'm glad that was helpful. So we will thank you, Tycho Hun, for being a supportive person to this stream. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you letting me read for you. I do. I appreciate you letting me read for you. And we'll move on in the queue, hon. Thank you so much. Hey, Amy Nico. Exclamation point help will help you, dear. My queue is currently closed though, because we're trying to wrap up. So Andrea's next, and then Miss Umbra, and then Ara, and then Tara. Hey, the bear. Welcome in, dear. We're already gonna go way over stream. Which is why I kept my queue small. You're coming over from Sarah's community. I love Sarah. I love Sarah. Your name sounded very familiar. Aww. I'm glad you came over. Welcome. You feel like you're on a good upward path, and then this whole virus thing has basically halted progress. Yeah. Can I get some advice on how to navigate this? Huh, Andrea. Huh, I feel you. I feel you. Andrea, didn't you also just, leave your stable job? Didn't you also make the transition to leave your stable job? Didn't you also just do that? Oh, the funding was cut. Hi, honey. Sorry, the cat came to say hi. Hi, honey. You want to lay down? You want to absorb some energy? Sorry. Sorry if she moved the camera. Oh, the funding was cut? I mean, yeah, I understand. I understand. It was decided for you, but you just moved across the country based on intuition alone. Did you really, Andrea? So it's just a bit scary. Okay, I got you. I got you. She's very cute. Yeah, yeah. She likes to be here with us. Okay, let's focus on that in particular. Let's reset ourselves. By the way, guys, Andrea is always so supportive of us. She also streams, guys. She also does art, and she's just a sweet, sweet person. She's just a sweet, sweet person. And being an individual who has lost perceived stability. Right, this is my job. Believe it or not, this is my job. I quit my 9-to-5 to do this. Which means I am at the mercy and blessing of the universe. Which can be extremely difficult. So, Andrea also, I think, is kind of in a similar boat, because she does art on Twitch as well. So that's my way to support Andrea, is to share just the knowledge that she exists and she is doing artwork on Twitch as well. So, thank you, hon. I'm feeling, Andrea, I'm just gonna draw some tarot and then maybe get a clarifier oracle. You're so sweet, honey. So we're gonna draw some cards for Andrea. Andrea just wants any kind of guidance right now. I'm gonna reset the deck because some of the cards from the other reading were coming out. Let's reset the deck. Lou always is very interested in like all the cards I have. Anything in my hand, she's very interested in. Alright. Alright. I'd like to draw the best cards from the deck for Andrea. Oh, okay. Let me know, Andrea, if this correlates for you. The first card is a 4 of Swords. Hey, George. Welcome in, hon. How are you? I saw you were streaming last night. Was it last night? I think it was last night. I popped in for a second. So the first card is Four of Swords. I feel like you felt parts of you just needed to flat out die, if that makes sense. This almost feels like Scorpio kind of energy. I feel like you were like, okay, these are the things I don't like about myself. They need to just be gone so that I can move forward. So I'm basically going to kill off parts of me, or sever parts of my life that are just not working. I don't have time for them. So I feel like you really took that to heart, and they kind of I think you had drastic energy behind the action, but the result, and you were kind of maybe anticipating chaos through that, and maybe there was a little bit, but I feel like for the most part those things kind of naturally died off a lot calmer than you feel that they would have originally. Miss Umbria. I have, George. Thank you. I have been keeping safe. Okay, no, hold on. There's also like a guardedness too. Like, because things have kind of died off so calmly, you're like quietly waiting for the chaos to creep up on you. Because you made such a drastic, energetic decision, like you were just like, bye, chop, 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 which was very high energy for you. And because of how drastic the severance was, you're expecting drastic to come back with that, but it hasn't come yet. Everything's been pretty chill, but you're kind of like waiting. It's kind of like waiting for it to show up. I don't think it is, Andrea. I think maybe some of the things that you cut out might have a little bit of a quake to them, but I honestly don't feel like there's anything for you to wait on and like anticipate. You know what I mean? I don't feel like that's necessary for you. I do mostly get a feeling of peace. So I think things are going to be, I think you're anticipating more chaos. So that's kind of like building for you. That's what's building. You feel the need to have chaos with these choices. And the card is kind of saying like, that's not how it's going to work. So you can just let that go, basically. The Seven of Pentacles is the second card. This card in particular is all about like gathering up fruit, like harvest time, basically. Harvest time. I feel like this isn't the future for you. Not necessarily right at the moment. You didn't move. You're not going to be harvesting anything soon, is what I'm getting from this card. However, I think you did make all of your drastic choices because you realized that the soil you were tilling in your life, like the things that you were putting all of your energy into and focus into and time into, you had already tried to manipulate and change and alter and recalibrate in so many different ways that you kind of knew that the soil was dead and there was no way for you to revive it. Like it had already been used to its limit. So you kind of made the decision that, okay, this is never going to give me what I need anymore. Like, I've already tried to work around it so much, and I've kind of come to the realization that it has nothing left to give me. So I feel like you made also these choices of severance, so that you could till new things in life and grow them and actually get things out of them. You wanted a new beginning for yourself on basically all levels, and you're okay with that. And I think that these two things correlate very closely together. These two cards do. Yeah. This card doesn't mean you're gonna get anything, you're gonna be harvesting anything soon. This card is saying, like, this is a confirmation of why you made all those choices, and that was good for you. And again, I don't see any backlash. Like, don't anticipate lots of chaos from those things, because I don't see that happening for you. The next card is Six of Cups. Six of Cups. I think Andrea, what the Six of Cups is trying to say, I'm getting like a group. This almost feels like the people you've wanted in your life, that you've always wanted in your life since you were a child, like the types of people and the types of connections that you have always wanted to be in your actual physical space and life, are going to finally come to you. And you've wanted these connections since you were a child. They are coming. They are coming. Like, this has like soul family kind of feel. This is a reminder though, to be and carry the essence of who you are at your center at all times during this period. So be your genuine self at all times. Like, what a beautiful opportunity to have a clean slate and really carry yourself genuinely without carrying expectations of other people. Like, this is a great time to do that. And that's kind of what this card is saying. Like, by doing that and embodying yourself 100% and not being attached to other people's expectations of who you are, that is going to bring in kind of like your soul family for you, which is honestly what you've been looking for since you were a kid. So they are coming. They are coming. They are coming. The last card here is the Devil card. And I'm just going to ask for clarification on what this is in particular. I feel like this is your energy right now, honestly, Andrea. I feel like, because there's always a sadness, a little bit. When we make really severe cuts, it hurts. Even though we know it's good for us, it still hurts. And I think what you're going through right now is you're trying to untangle your heart from that hurt. Like, you're trying to figure out how to, you know it's good for you, but at the same time it hurts. And so you're like, if you're not careful, it can make you doubt what you've chosen to do, right? It can make you doubt, because then you're not sure, because your heart hurts. You're like, did I hurt my heart by doing this? Or was this really the right choice? And my heart is hurt for another reason. Like, this card reading is here to tell you, like, you have made all the right choices. right? You've made all the right choices for the right reason. Your heart hurts, and that's okay. But you need to understand that it's not the time to backtrack, basically, is what I'm getting. Like, don't backtrack in your mind just because you're hurt. Heal the hurt, and then be clear, and then you'll figure out if it's something that you really made a mistake on, which I don't think you need help with. I think right now what you really need to do is, I think the fact that your heart is hurting is the only reason why you're having second doubts or second thoughts. So what I think you really need to do is focus on untangling your heart a little bit and just becoming clear emotionally. I do see that maybe you have a tendency to chain yourself to that pain and then have regrets, and then your regret kind of really cripples you, like really bad. So before you get to that point, because you're already starting to doubt quite a bit, before you get to that point, heal the pain. Find out, why is this pain here, and what exactly happened? Like, is this pain just because of things that have ended? And how can I heal that? Like, okay, I'm sad because, I've left some of my family behind. Okay, that's a good reason to be upset. How can we heal that? How can we heal that? Because once that's healed, we won't be hurt anymore, and then we won't regret anymore. So that's something that you really need to focus on, is find out where you're hurt and why you're hurt, and then have a game plan on healing it, because I don't think you've made the wrong decision. I think you just need to, you've made the right ones, but I just think that you need to be healing that part of you. Because once that part's healed, you won't have anything to second guess anymore. You know what I mean? I do think specifically, though, there's one person you're going to have to be very careful about. Just now, Andrea, the card, kind of pointed this out. I think there's going to be somebody one person in particular who uses your emotions against you. Like, there's somebody in your life, and this is probably why you second guess as well, and maybe why you've learned to second guess your emotions, because, and this is, didn't I give you a card reading before? Didn't I give you a card reading before where I was saying, be careful what kinds of information, what energy you're giving when you're venting to people? I think the same person you vent to normally on a negative level is the same person who's going to come to you and say, but you told me that you miss people, and so you should come back. Like, I think this is correlated. Do you know what I'm trying to get at? Andrea, you remember that card reading? Where I kind of was like, hey, you've been giving the negative face to this one person in particular, and so they always kind of reflect the negativity back on you. Okay, that person you need to be really careful with right now, because they are going to grow that doubt in you, because that's kind of the relationship that you've always had with them and the type of connection that you've always had. So be really careful about what you share with that person, because they're going to grow more of the doubt instead of say, hey, you can be your own person, congratulations. You know what I mean? So there's one person in particular that's going to use your heart pain against you, but they're not doing it because they want to be bad. They're not doing it to be conniving. They're doing it because that's just how they've always done it, and kind of how you guys have always made that conversation connection. Like, they just don't know any better. You know what I mean? So be really careful about that person, because they're gonna continue to do that. So find someone else that's more objective. I'm not saying don't share negative things. I'm just saying maybe don't share the negative things or doubts or worries with that particular person. find another person that you don't already have that kind of connection with, and slowly change that connection to only sharing the positive things with that one person, because you'll heal that person and you'll heal yourself at the same time. And then because you guys are like feeding off of doubt with each other, and that's just how you guys have always done it. But that's how you can change it, basically. You hope everyone's doing well. Thank you, Dyer. I appreciate you very much. We're doing some card readings at the moment. Andrea, that's all I got from you from the cards, hon. I hope that helps you very much. Handsome. There's only consequences if you think there are consequences. Alright. Miss Umbra is next. Miss Umbra is next. If it makes you nervous, you can put the creature outside. If it doesn't make you nervous, then you have nothing to worry about. Dyer, thank you so much for your subscription, hon. I appreciate that very, very much. Very, very much. Thank you. I'm doing for those of you who have recently followed and subscribed, I'm doing a short queue today. And, but you always have a chance to do redemptions for card readings during any stream. So you're earning points for other times to do redemptions, basically. What you believe is true, that's the magic of the universe, right? It's the magic of the universe. So, if you're wondering how to get a reading, my queue is currently closed at the moment. However, on days when I don't have a actual queue open, and you guys want to do redemptions, you guys can do channel points for that at any other point in time. But I do currently have a full queue at the moment. But I appreciate all of you being here and showing support. Thank you so very much. So, Miss Umbra, if you have a question, go ahead and specify that for me, dear, and we will take care of that for you. Some positive changes recently. Isn't that interesting, Miss Umbra? Let me just say this really quick. Isn't it interesting how quick that changed? I'm just gonna read your first sentence. So I've actually had some positive changes recently. Isn't that interesting how quickly that can change? To do, including opportunity due to the current state of the world, being at home and not working. So I want to have an evaluation of the state of my relationship now that negative influences are gone, as well as my possible near future as new opportunities arise. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna do 2 cards. Let me know if you agree. I'm gonna do 2 cards for current romantic relationship, right? 2 cards. And the other 2 are going to be possible opportunities. And then we'll get an oracle card on maybe how, depending on which one we need more clarification on. Does that work for you? So you kind of want 2 readings, basically. It's really what you want. Which, instead of saying no, I'm just gonna say, okay, well, let's at least make the ground rules before we draw cards. So 2 for relationship, because I'm assuming I want to get what's going on and maybe how we can work on that. And then the other one can be opportunities and how to obtain them. And then the whatever else we need clarification on, we can get from the oracle. Alright, Miss Umbra. And then Ara, you're next. And then Tara, and then we'll go. Did you guys work together, Miss Umbra? Is that why? I'm still gonna stick with our ground rules, though. Alright, so let's focus on relationship first. So, can I get a card that best correlates the relationship, like, energy at the moment? Like, the best card out of the deck that's going to relay the relationship energy. Why? Miss Umbra. Miss Umbra. It's a 10 of Wands, dear. It's a 10 of Wands. I feel like... Okay, here's what this card is really saying. 10 of Wands. It's the last correlation of the Wands. So what I'm getting from this here is... Right now, which is interesting that I said, look how quickly things turned around. So I think right now, for you in particular, and also for your partner, you guys are like in hyper, like, activation mode. Like, whatever you focus on becomes real. Like, it's almost like instant manifestation, if I can dare say that. So what I'm getting from this is pick what you want and it will become in completion. It will complete itself. So I feel like the energy of your relationship is kind of like that too. So have that discussion. Like, make sure you both are on the same page so that you're both manifesting the same thing. Because either way, it's going to be a complete thing. Like, for right now, I don't think your relationship is going to be necessarily wishy-washy unless you guys don't agree on where you're going. So I do feel like huge leaps are going to be taken forward at this time. So I feel like everything's going to come to completion. Like, these are big things that are going to happen. These are not little tiny, well, things are going to slowly shift. It's like, no, this is going to be done, and this is going to be complete, and this is going to be the new stage, and this is going to be, like, there's, like, finalization here kind of going on. That's exactly what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. Yeah, like, this is like building it too. This is like building it too. Hey Amanda, welcome to the treehouse then. So, I feel like this is at the stage where we can't be like taking things lightly, really, because this is where big things are happening. So, we really need to be really precise on what it is that we want to focus on, because this could either be for the best or for the better, but regardless, it's going to become a full manifestation of what it is you guys want to achieve. So, do you feel you need any more clarification on that, Miss Umbra? I'm gonna let you decide if you want another relationship card or if that kind of gives you enough. And then we can focus on the other ones. Because that one's pretty straightforward. I don't know that I need another card, but perhaps you do, so I'll let you make that decision. I just got maybe how to approach the conversation. Like, how do you approach a big conversation? Hey, Craig Russell. Welcome to the treehouse, dear. Thank you so much for the raid. Okay, let's get a card that gets clarification on, like, how maybe an approach we should have. Are you okay with that? Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Aw, thank you so much for the raid, Craig. I appreciate that very much, dear. I'm an intuitive painter on Twitch. I usually do artistic paintings through watercolor, but today we're doing card readings. Okay, perfect. So Miss Umbra wants to get a card for clarification on how to approach a conversation. So what's the energy of approach we should have when bringing such a big card to the table? What kind of energetic approach should we have? Aww. Hey, Craig. Stay well and stay safe. Thank you so much. You too, hon. I appreciate your you popping in when you could. Thank you so much for bringing your friends. I understand if you have to go, but if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, I'd be more than happy to listen to you for a minute. Miss Umbra, here's the card that you got for the approach. For some strange reason, I got the picture of, guys, I'm about ready to list off a movie reference. A movie that I've seen. Can you believe it? You guys seen the movie, what's it called? The Christmas movie with, what's his face? The one where he runs through the Christmas movie Elf. For some reason, that got stuck in my head. Where he's like running around in the doorway, the circular doorway, and he's saying, I'm in love and I'm in love and I don't care who knows. Like, that's kind of what popped in my head just then. Japanese TV shows. I love Japanese TV shows. I love Japanese TV shows. Aw, that's so nice, Craig. You're ready for a relaxing vibe. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate it very much. So you're doing like a comedy, maybe. I'm gonna have to follow you. I love Japanese shows. I'm gonna have to give you a follow, Craig. View info. I'm gonna follow. See what you're doing. Yeah, so I'm kind of getting a, like, hard on your sleeve kind of thing. Like, because of how powerful this card is, I'm kind of getting a feeling of, like, this is not the time to hold back anything. Like, because of how powerful this card is, this is not the time to hold back anything. Like, this is like hard on the sleeve kind of thing. Like, it's not the time to be cautious. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the time to be cautious because of how immense this kind of energy is. This is like finalization. So if it's going to be a finalization, a final foundation, a final building, a final tie, then we need to make sure that we're not holding things back, you know?
Yes, exactly. You're welcome. I'm very excited to have a chuckle.
Yeah, we can't be, yeah, basically. Basically, that's what this is saying, which I think is a good card to have, honestly. Like a freedom. Like a freedom. And I think being that vulnerable is going to be freeing on itself for both of you at the same time. Because I feel like being that open and honest is going to, either way, bring about the best resolution. Because if you're holding things back and you're kind of not sharing everything and you're not really, you're kind of like walking on eggshells about things for a minute, you know, then you're not speaking your truth genuinely, and then you're actually holding yourself back. And then if things do come to a completion, it might not be the completion that you wanted. So then it's like, then you end up having regrets by not sharing 100%. So this is kind of like, this is a finalization moment for the relationship. Lay everything out on the table, all the cards on the table, and just go with it with an open heart, like 100%, basically. Yeah, I don't think that it's time to do that. If we want this to like be the best outcome for everybody, everybody needs to be open. And if people are not willing to be open during this period of time, are you ever going to be willing to be open? And is that an energy and a relationship that you want to be in all the time? Because if someone's not willing to open up when you lay all the cards out on the table, they're not going to open up, like, ever. And are you okay with that? Is really what that kind of comes down to. You're nodding a lot. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So, but these cards do feel really good. These cards do feel really good. These cards do feel really good. Okay. Let's get 2 more cards at least for, you want specifically future opportunities for you to take, like, for yourself? Are you thinking like, okay, I guess I need to know what kind of path you want to walk. Are you ready to walk your own true soul path, or do you want to stay, or do you want to find some kind of stability right now? Like, for you as an individual, there's no wrong answer. Are you looking for soul path at the moment, or are you looking for financial stability through a transition? Like, what kind of future endeavor do you want to aim towards first at the moment? Because they can eventually be both, but I need to know which one you want to be focusing on right now. Because I feel like back and forth, like, wish, you know. Okay, so so now that you say that, that's a very open-minded way. Like, I see, when I read those words, I see, okay, this person understands that they can't just jump ship all the time. Like, sometimes you have to have a slow transition. So for me in specific, I'm not worried really about what the transition looks like. And maybe you're not really that worried either. So with the last cards, then I'd like to focus specifically on like maybe what that path looks like for you, so that while you're transitioning, you still have an end point to like keep your eye on. You know what I mean? The most pressing will be taking on a new job in a new field. Yeah. Hey, Meta Lunar. You keep coming in and out of streams since you're working. It's okay, hon. It's okay, Meta. Yeah. I was like, I don't think she really wants to focus on like. That's why I said. That's why I said it was getting a little bit back and forth. I don't think you really want to focus on the transition right now. Just want to know what the end point looks like, or at least have an idea of how to get to that, and deciding what it looks like. Yeah, the painting's not done yet, but we'll continue it. Alright. You guys are so patient. Okay. Hey, Purple Moon. Welcome back, dear. So we want 2 cards. Let's do this first. Oh no. Hold on. Sorry. I was getting ready to ask, what does the path look like? And I was told to grab the goddess cards. So we'll see what the path looks like. Can the cards please provide at least some type of insight on what the highest path for Miss Umbra entails? Like any characteristics that we can gain from that, so that through transitions they know where to keep their sights on. Like any type of guidance for the end path destination. Any kind of destination. Any kind of confirmation of what that is, so that no matter what happens, they can keep their eyes on it. Kind of confirmation. You like the painting? I almost said this, Miss Umbra. So as I was shuffling the cards, I got a reminder that there's really no end destination. That who you are, it's not a matter of like maneuvering physically so you can reach an end destination and have everything that you want. It's more of being who you are right now and recognizing it as it is now, and then using those threads that come in to help grow it, because you currently are, here's the truth, you currently are already on it. Here's the truth, and this is a message for everybody. You are currently already on it. It's just you understand, you somehow think that it's an endpoint destination, and it's not. It's right now. It's just you need to take time to step back and understand what that means for yourself. And by understanding what you enjoy doing right now in these moments, those are the strands that you need to hold on to and grab and figure out how to let them grow, right? Because they're all here right now. It's not really about reaching an end destination, especially in the beginning. Like I would say, Miss Umbra, if you already knew what your path was and you wanted more, if you had a really concrete idea already, then yes, I would say the cards would be pointing you in a very particular direction. But when you don't have a concrete idea, especially in the beginning when you're trying to figure that out, you need to understand that it's already there for you. You just need to be focused on what your heart is telling you and what you enjoy in your life, and figure out how to grow more of those things in your current moment now, like in your life now. And then through that, you'll slowly get new ideas. Like, oh, like, okay, here's an example. Oh man, I really like to paint. I would love, this is a real example from me, okay? This is a real example from me. I would really love to paint. I just really like to create art. And I would really love to be a full-time artist. That's really what I want. So I told myself that, and I believed it, and I knew it was true. So what did I do? I started making art. End of story. I started making art. I didn't tell myself, well, how is this going to be a full-time job? Or how is this going to be, you know, I told myself that, but I didn't stick in that mindset, right? I just said, I'm going to start making art, and I did. And then, as I was making art, my boyfriend comes along, and he's like, hey, people really love watching you make art. You know what I heard? Maybe, what you should try is being on Twitch. And instead of saying, oh, no, I'm not good enough to do Twitch, I said, hey, Twitch is an opportunity that I can do more art. And I said yes. So then I started doing it on the side, right? I'm still working my 9-to-5 job, but I started doing art on the side on Twitch. And this is how it works. You won't find the opportunities. You can't know beforehand what the opportunity is going to be. That's just not how it works. Like, you're not supposed to know that. Unless you have like somebody who like, I guess, really can get that information. I'm sure there are readers out there who can probably get that. But sometimes you're not supposed to be doing that. Like, sometimes you're just not supposed to know, because it's part of your journey to explore and find things out as you go. Like, that's part of the whole process, right? Yes, whatever you're doing is your path. Whatever you're doing is your path. And that's literally what the card says. Have courage to follow your path. Opportunities will come as you do what you love. You just have to figure out what you want for yourself and what makes you feel good first. So choose that, and then slowly you'll find people coming to you or opportunities coming to you, and instead of saying, I don't deserve that opportunity, take it. And then you'll see as you're going, things kind of start to narrow down a little bit. And sometimes you'll go down one path and you're like, actually, I absolutely hated that. Then stop doing it. Like, I could have tried Twitch, and I could have been like, actually, you know what? I actually really don't like Twitch. I don't think I want to do it anymore. Guess what? That would be fine. That would be fine. But I think there's a level of trial and error and exploration that needs to happen for you right now. Do we have any other cards for guidance for Miss Umbra? Any other guidance for Miss Umbra? Knight of Cups. I like when the cards do that. Yeah, they always do. They always do. here's what this card is saying, Miss Umbra. Here's what the card is actually saying to me, which I'm going to relay to you. You are going to get what you want. You are going to get what you really want. You're going to get what you really want. You're going to get what you really want. This is a matter of believing it. And I think there are people around you who, once you share, I think you need to be sharing what you want with other people, basically. You need to share what you want with other people. So you need to get your desires out in the world, whether that's writing them down, telling other people. Be careful about who you tell, but telling other people, because I feel like once you get it out of your mind and out into the physical world, that's kind of like solidifying, this is what I want. End of story. And then you'll see that the emotion that you have while you're doing that process is going to like really put that into overdrive, and you're going to get it, and you're gonna find people who want to help you do it, and they're gonna say, hey, here's how I did it, maybe that can help you do what you want to do too. So this is about making what you want known, like without a doubt, and you can be as vague or as super detailed as you want to be. It does not matter at this point in time. It does not matter. The details at this point in time do not matter. It's the want and the desire and the intention that matters the most right now for you. And considering that you have very strong, these are all very strong, like beginning, heavy action energy. I feel like you're really in a place now where like what you want, you can have. You just need to really make that a thing right now. Like believe that that's a thing right now for you. And it will come. I do think other people could really help you though, as well. Like they're like, oh, you want to do this? I think maybe even specifically your partner. Like you're like, hey, partner, I have this awesome opportunity to do my dream thing. How do you feel about us? How do you feel about me trying to do that? And like put your heart out there and be honest. And I think you'll find that the right people are gonna be in your corner, rooting you on, and they're gonna be super excited for you, and they're gonna want you to try it. And I think you're gonna get more support than you maybe imagine. So hopefully that was helpful for you, Miss Umbra, dear. I hope so. I hope so. Lovely to be back. Hey, Gypsy, welcome back, dear. So that reading was for Miss Umbra. Aura is now next in the queue. Aura, I just noticed, which I find funny, which you might find funny too. You jumped in the queue at 2 hours and 22 minutes into the stream. That resonated with you too. I mean, you did show up Purple Moon during that reading, so if that really helped you too, perfect. Take it and run, hun. Take it and run. You don't know what 222 might mean? Isn't it? Let's look it up. I'll look it up for you. And then Tara's next, and then we'll be done with our readings, and then we'll go for the day. Isn't it path? Being on the right path? Stay optimistic and continue to hold your vision of the future, even through tough times. Stay optimistic and continue to hold on to your vision of what you want for the future, even through tough times.
Also, thank you so much, Chastity, for your subscription, hon. I appreciate you so much. Do you like your new badge? Your sub badge? Agreed. He's actually really supportive of me exploring new things, but I'll keep that in mind to tell others so that I can attract more people to guide me. Yeah, just be really selective because some people are gonna get jealous. Some people get jealous and then you don't want them bringing doubts to you, so be really selective about who you share things with. But I do think that your partner in specific, I think, is gonna be more open than you think. I really think so, because none of those cards were bad cards. So I honestly think they're going to be more supportive than you maybe imagine. And I get this energy of like, they might also carry a little bit of the Fool with them. Like, they might be like, well, why the heck not? Go ahead. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So Ara needs help with spiritual blockages. Okay. I'm gonna do a guidance card, an oracle card first. And we'll see if one of these can help get blockages, and maybe we can work through maybe other things that are creating the blockages. Yeah, I think that's a message for all of us recently. Yeah, that's a message for all of us recently. So if you are subscribed to the channel, I'm doing like daily card readings where I just kind of meditate and sit there and then draw the cards and just like basically channel a message in for whatever's coming in, and I type it up, which means if you want to mute the server, you probably should, because I'm typing them up as they're coming in, which means sometimes I have 2 sentences and I hit enter, and then I go back in, and then I have 3 more sentences, so I put them in and then I stop. So that's just how they're typed up. So I'm sorry if it's like annoying that it keeps beeping. You can mute the server and then it won't make any noises. Anyway, let's see what we can get for Ara. I just got the notion that I need to drink some water. So Ara, maybe that's something for you as well, is making sure that our bodies are hydrated and have what they need. Hydration. Alright. So we're asking if we can get clarification on how Ara can best unblock herself. She feels spiritually blocked. She feels a blockage. So how can we help move through that? Sorry. You're getting all these cards. Not that I need to apologize to you. You've been drinking water with you this whole time. Did you just start that today though? Or had you been neglecting to do so until today? Keep going. Keep going. Big compliment for so much reading today. Thank you, Dino. We only have Tara left, and then we'll be done for the day.
It's off and on, if you remember. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of what I'm getting here for you, Ara. So the first card that I kind of was drawn to pull to was this Passion card, and then I was kind of told to just grab all the other ones in sequence. So the first card is Passion. So this card is about burning with life's passion. Honestly, what I got when I was shuffling the deck was that there's really no block, was what I was getting while I was shuffling. There's really no block. It's almost like a self-created block because of expectation. Because things are changing and growing and being different than what they were. Like, it's not coming in the same way, or maybe feels like it's not coming in at all. So then we kind of go, I must be blocked, I must be blocked, or I must not be doing something right, or I must just or I must just not be doing something right. And this card is even saying, take a fresh look. Take a fresh look. Do you feel more waves than normal, Ara? Do you feel more waves than maybe you used to? Like, you're not getting other things, but you get like waves. Or like waves. Or like waves. Or like waves. Or like waves. Like, you're noticing subtle energies instead. Okay. Yeah, but they don't last very long. Yeah. I think what is starting to happen is very similar to like the way things are happening for me. I think you're getting information in a new way. So instead of the way that you used to receive it, it's now about practicing and learning what those things mean. So it's not that you have a blockage. Things are still coming in. They're just coming in a way that you did not recognize, or you're not sure what to do with it. So it's about accepting this new thing, this new beginning, letting go of how information used to come to you, and learning to work with this new way, because I think we get attached to the way that things used to be, and so then we're like, I understood that way. Why did things change? Now I don't know what's going on, and I don't know how to be helpful in the same way that I used to anymore. And it's about letting that go, because this is the new way of doing things, and it's about learning that new process of information, because it's still information. It's just information that is different. So it's about taking time to step away and examine what that is and try and learn from that, and use that to your advantage. I do feel like this change happened because it's part of what you are supposed to be doing. So if you feel like you've maybe been abandoned, or you feel like, well, this thing that I thought I should be doing, apparently I shouldn't be doing because I'm broke and I don't know how to fix myself, so maybe I shouldn't actually be doing this. This is kind of confirming, like, don't put yourself in that place. Like, understand that this is just the way that things are going to be now for you. and it's part of the path for you. Like, it's happening for a reason. It's the way it's supposed to be. So it's really just about working with that new way of information. So Ara, I'm gonna share a streamer with you, and actually I'll share it with everybody, because I think what's happening is the card readers are becoming energy readers, and then we don't know what to do. I think is honestly what's happening slowly. I think the people who are reading cards and using and getting really good about following their intuition and the cues that the cards were giving them, they are like upgrading to energy reading, and I think that's a hard transition for a lot of us to make because we don't know what to do with it. And I think you understand exactly what I mean when I say this, because we just are like, what is this? What do I do with this? Like, thank you for giving it to me. Thank you for, but what do I do with it? Like, so I think that's honestly what's going on with quite a lot of us. You can help us then, probably. Not your fan. What do I do with it? So, let's VHPHE. Yes. So this is a energy reader on Twitch who she streams usually in the morning, but if you have a chance to go watch her, go watch her stream. She's a lovely person. She's super sweet, and that's what she does. So I think Ara, that might be the thing that you're dealing with right now. And what the cards are kind of saying, like, try and go with the flow a little bit more. If you have to take a break emotionally so that you could become clear to step back up to the plate later, do it. Because I think right now your emotions are getting in the way, and you need to let them go. You need to become emotionally clear, because you can't clearly read energy when your own energy is like a hot mess. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what you need to be doing right now. So I hope that helps you. You're not broken. Okay? You're not broken. It's an upgrade. It's an upgrade. It's just learning how to do that. Learning how to utilize that new information coming in so that it's helpful. So that you understand it and you can relay it so that it can be helpful. That's basically what it is. I don't think it's a block. I just think it's so different that we don't know what to do with it. I think those things are always going to be there. Alright? I think those things are still always going to be there. It's just, I think what's happening is the new thing is way more powerful for you, is what I think it is. And while it's uncomfortable, I think on some level you actually want that experience, otherwise it wouldn't be coming to you. You know what I mean? Like, you want to do more than just that. And I think this is your way of getting that, and you just need to be open to it. I don't think the other things are gone. I think you'll just see them slow down because you're utilizing something different now. They're still gonna be there. Like, I still get like the hints and things like that, but it's not the same. So, but it's not the same. Yeah, alright, and I'm still working through that. I'm just trusting the process. And I'm trying to not put myself in my own way, you know? Yeah, alright. And you're gonna, I think it's a stepping stone. Like, I don't think you're gonna give, It's almost like you don't want to have too much power at one time, because then you'll be overloaded and overwhelmed. So I think this is like a slow kind of process. You know what I mean? So don't rush things. You know, I did today because I actually sat down and did a card reading, and I was like, you know what? These messages didn't come to me in the same way that they would normally come to me, but they still came to me, and I'm going to trust that. And I should try and practice that today and see if that still comes through accurately. And I honestly feel like today it has. So I think it's just a different way to do it. And so I think that's normal. It's okay, Clockwork. I'm going to go back and read it now. I just wanted to finish my statement. You do need the help with the idea of telling my friend who believes in Jesus, but I don't want to lose them based on that. I think Clockwork, sometimes things don't need to be shared. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying your friend doesn't need to know about your new venues, you know, but maybe approach it gently if you're nervous. Maybe say, I've been doing like self-exploration, because that's really all it is, right? I've been doing self-exploration because that's genuinely what it is. It's just through that self-exploration you are presented then with what fits for you. Like, that's exactly how it works. So maybe if you're nervous, like, present it slowly. I think maybe dumping everything might be a little much, especially if you're already kind of not sure and you don't want to lose them. You know, that would be up to you on if that's worth sharing. Like, I have tons of friends who have loads of different religions, and I'm a kind of person who can let that be okay. You know, some people can't do that. So it just depends on, you know, if you feel your friend is able to do that or not. And if you are able to do that, Clockwork, then maybe that's something that you can just let them have their own thing. You know, if they start to become defensive, you know, and you don't really want that to cause an issue, you know, you can just kind of drop it and let them do their own thing too. Because sometimes it's about just letting people be themselves and not try to, like, force anything. So you could slowly drop hints to see how they feel, you know, maybe catch their radar. You never realized how long my hair is? Oh gosh, yeah, I have a lot of hair. It's like really long. The stream was lovely today. Thank you, Luna. Oh, you're welcome, Miss Umbra, dear. You're welcome, Ara. Yes, it was more of a flow kind of thing. Yeah, it was more of a flow. Yeah, incense can help, and sage can help. Yeah. And salt. I think you said that though, didn't you? Also, just straight up intention can help too, to tell you the truth. If you guys are a little nervous about using tools to get stuff done, just throw your intention out there. A prayer, if you will, if you want to call it a prayer. You can say it as a prayer. Words are just words. I'm glad that helped, Ara, because that's what I was getting for you, dear. Alright, Tara, you're the last one, hon. And then we'll be good. What's your question, Tara? Lighting white candles. I have heard white candles, yeah. I have heard white candles. Yeah. I think Tara's probably like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm next. You're gonna make some brunch now? Okay, Ara, hun. Okay. I appreciate you coming in and letting me read for you, and don't feel so bad. Don't feel so bad. is stuff going to be okay in the end? Of course. Of course. Yes. That's totally understandable. Yeah, I would, because I understand the need to want to share your experiences with someone that's close to you, but sometimes we have to understand like what that means. Like, how far are we willing to go to perhaps maybe objectify the relationship? Not on our end necessarily, because I think you're a very open-minded person, but on the end of the other individual, which I don't know who that person is, but you know, you would get hints of if they're a little open to that kind of thing or not. So aw, okay, Tara, yeah, okay. Tara, did you read the card of the day, Tara? Did you read the card of the day section in Discord that I did today? I want you to take time today to read that as well, because for some strange reason that reading was very geared towards children. For some odd reason, I don't understand why, but it was very heavily geared towards children, and I think that reading in particular may help you. So I'm not saying go stop what you're doing and go read it now, but take that. She says, I'm looking now. I figured you would. You don't have to go look now, but you can, I guess, if you want. But take some time at some point to go read that one, because I think that that's going to help you. I think that's going to help you. But we can draw cards too for you. I like how I knew that's exactly what you were going to do. It's like she's going to run in there and go look. Yeah, just anytime, take some time to absorb what was put in that one. And that's how I know it's not me interpreting the card directly, you know what I mean? Because those cards had nothing, there's nothing on those cards necessarily that would gear towards children typically. However, the messages I was getting was in relation to children, so it's kind of like understanding that process a little bit. Yeah, it does, Tara. Yeah, it does. Which, if I didn't trust and didn't do the card reading and didn't do card readings today, we wouldn't have any confirmations. Right? We wouldn't have any confirmations. Alright. Let me reset the deck. Alright. Tara, can I ask one question, hon? How old is the kid? How old is the child? I got a key. I got them being handed a key. Handing them a key. I think this basically means that they have to be able to unlock themselves. Like, you have to be able to provide them the opportunity to unlock themselves, if that makes any sense to you.
Yeah, Griswold, yeah. And I think Tara understands that. I think Tara understands that. So, like, Tara, basically what I'm getting, after I got that, what I got was, Tara is spending so much time unlocking herself. It's time for her to teach her kid how to unlock themselves, is basically what I was getting out of that. So, like, I mean, literally, like, this being came down and was like, here's a key. So, like, you're spending so much time learning yourself, it's time for you to direct them on how to really know themselves and unlocking their potential. So I'm almost getting the feeling of, like, whatever the practices that you are doing, you should be guiding him to be practicing as well. And do it with a loving heart, like saying, hey, I'm doing this practice because I lived so long in my life not knowing who I was, not knowing what I wanted in life, not knowing, you know, what my heart was actually trying to tell me. I'm going through this practice now. By having you practice with me, you have an opportunity to know these things earlier in life and have a better guide system for yourself as you go on through the future. But let's draw some cards. They need to unlock themselves, is what it is, basically. And I think you can help them do that, because you're already doing good work for yourself. Hi, bunnies. Hi, bunnies. I want to get 4 cards. Can we get 4 cards, please? Maybe on how they're feeling right now. Get a card on how the sun is feeling right now, or what the sun needs help with. The sun doesn't know how they feel at the moment. So what do they need help with? Perfect. And any practical guidance we can offer? Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. How's your day going? It's going really good. I think that's what Griswold, yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are doing right now. All of us, here's the truth, all of us are so, those of us that are loving and nurturing see all the pain and hurt that's going on, and we're just so motherly and caring that we just want to nurture and nurture and nurture and nurture and nurture and nurture. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. But it's hard to it's hard to nurture with boundaries, which is a hard lesson sometimes. Nurturing with boundaries. You take after your mom, Griswold. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's not a bad thing. That's a beautiful thing. But the lesson on the back end of that is boundaries. Because sometimes we tend to over-nurture, and sometimes we tend to nurture the wrong people that don't really want it, and then it becomes hard to work with. Yeah, Griswold, I think that's exactly it, yeah. So, what I'm getting here is the Fool. The Fool card. With this card in specific, I'm getting the feeling of we need to relax. We need to have fun and relax at this point in time.
and this goes for, I feel like this goes for everybody. Like, Tara, yes, this is a reading for you in specific, but I feel like this goes for everybody in your household. Like, you all just need to have some fun first before you really dive into this. You need to just learn how to have fun first. So, because that energy is going to bring some reprieve. It's going to bring reprieve. It's going to make everybody more calm and centered and feel more natural, so that when you do go into learning how to unlock yourself and help each other unlock each other potential, basically, it's not going to be like traumatic. Right? Because sometimes what's behind the door is like all the scary stuff, and you're not really ready to open the door yet. Which is why it was locked. You know what I mean? So, really focus on being emotionally prepared first, being in a good spot first, and be really open about what it is you guys want to be working towards. So that means having a conversation. You know, this person is 15. This person is old enough to tell you how they feel, how they think, and what they want. They're old enough to do that. Now, it's about listening, and then listening with discernment would be the next thing. So make sure you have that conversation. Listen with discernment. You can bring discernment later. So maybe what I'm getting in particular is listen first, take notes, tell them you're going to discern later. So say, hey, all I want to do right now is just listen to you. That's all I want to do. You can literally say anything that you need to say right now, and I will not say anything. However, what we're going to do is, after I let you do that, we're going to come back and have a discussion later about it. Because that takes away an emotional charge of the situation. Because sometimes as you're hearing people say stuff, you want to interject straight away. And I think the people that are trying to talk don't feel good about that, and the people who are wanting to interject also don't feel good about that. So I feel setting the time aside to say, hey, I'm not going to say anything during this period of time. The floor is completely yours right now, but I do want you to know we're going to have a discussion afterwards. So schedule that out. I do feel like this is the Wheel of Fortune with this card, and this one feels like the process. This is just the process of how things have to be. There's also a pentacle in this one. So I feel like this is just the turn of events and how they have to unfold first, basically. And I think knowing that you're open is going to start to have him spin his own wheel as well. Like, knowing that you're open to him being his own person and like helping him discover how to do that is going to be extremely supportive. And I think once you do those actions, the wheel is going to start to turn. My music card came out. Tara, my music card came out. So I don't know if he plays music or like really wants to play music, but like hasn't said anything. This is a very heavy music card. You want to get the same ones, Clockwork? These are Shadowscapes. Shadowscapes deck. I don't have the box anymore. Oh yes, I do. I have the box. So I don't know if he wants to do music. He has a guitar he wanted. He has everything to play, but he doesn't. Okay. I think he does. He just doesn't think that he can. I think he really wants to. He just has convinced himself that he wouldn't be any good at it, or it's too hard. is what I think. I think he really, really wants to. Because this is, I have 2 magic cards, not magic cards, I have 2 music cards in the deck, and this is the major music card. You could also, more practically, it could also be saying that he needs to be careful about what types of music he's listening to, and that might need to be a conversation as well. Whether you guys believe this or not, what you listen to matters. So if he's listening to music that talks about awful things and says awful things and is very harsh with the words and things, he's not gonna feel better. He's not gonna feel better. End of story. He's not gonna feel better. So, and that might be another thing to have a discussion about as well. I don't think people understand how powerful music is. Like, you are literally absorbing the information being sent to you through music. Whether you are totally aware of it or not, you are absorbing it. So the crap music, and this is where discernment comes in case, because this might be the argument. This might be the thing that you need to really steadfast on. Because what I'm already seeing is he might not be okay with getting rid of that music. And that's where, as a parent, you know, maybe some discernment comes in, like maybe show him studies, like, hey, here's the studies of, have you guys ever seen plants listening to different kinds of music? And like, I mean, don't just say, hey, because I tell you to. Provide detailed information, like show studies, like, hey, this kind of music kills off plants and you're listening to it. Like, should provide information that shows why your objective is helpful. And that's going to be the best one. That's going to be the best one. And if he has been playing more meditation music, he should continue that. He should continue that. And that's all you play in the house. I think he wants to do music, is what I think it is. If there's any resistance to the music, I would bring, if I was a parent, I would be pretty stern about that. Does that help you, hon? Does that help you? You're back with cinnamon chia and oatmeal? Ah, perfect. You're welcome, Tara. Did you need any more clarification? The music thing makes sense. Yeah. He's got an instrument he's not touching. You're hungry again now? Yeah. So we did go an hour and a half after the stream time that I was originally shooting for. I'm gonna have to keep in mind that my readings now are like way longer than they were before. So I'm so sorry if you really wanted to jump in the queue and like you couldn't make it. I literally had no clue how long the readings were gonna last. Hey, little Miss Hatter, welcome to the treehouse, dear. So, I'll have to keep in mind that basically 6 readings took 3 hours and 24 minutes. But I do appreciate you all being here so very much. And it was a bonus stream today. So the next time we'll be live, we'll be painting. However, as I mentioned before, even though it was a tarot card queue day today, the queue is now closed. However, at any other point while we're watching, you want to redeem some type of reading, you can with your channel points. So even if I'm not doing tarot and there's no queue, if we're just painting and chatting and you have something that you're really wanting to get some guidance on, you can use your channel points to redeem a reading. So, and that's during any period of time unless I have them disabled for whatever reason. So if you see them in the channel points, you can redeem them. Hey bunnies. If you crave cinnamon buns, this is perfect. I love cinnamon, man. Thank you for your time and the energy to help us, Ara. You're welcome. Thank you for being here and just supporting me. I appreciate you all very much. I'm going to continue to do daily card readings. So if you're a subscriber to the channel and you still want daily card readings, I'm making the card readings for whoever comes across them. So they aren't individually specific. They're geared towards whoever happens to come across them. So, but I am trying to do those daily to keep me going. And I'm going to try to make them a little bit shorter. So maybe just one card, or like the 3-card layout. I probably won't do one, but let me know if those are helpful. If you like it, put some type of reaction on there so I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. Because if I type all that out and I don't get any reactions, I just think no one's looked at them. So please at least mark them with something. So I can be like, oh, someone at least laid eyes on it. Perfect. But we won't be going for today. I appreciate you all very much. Let's see who we can raid. Do we have any idea? You really liked this stream, Griswold. Yeah. It was a nice one. I hadn't done a straight up just card reading one for a while, honestly. Who do we want to raid? Is anyone else doing cards? Thank you, Werg. Thank you, Werg. I appreciate your lovely comments. I appreciate everyone who just like let me read them too. Like that takes a lot of trust, you know. Like that takes a lot of trust. But I also don't do readings every day, so I'm not a reading machine. So like we kind of, I think because of that, like we kind of already have a connection with each other before I even start offering readings usually, which I think helps a lot with everybody, like being open to it, you know what I mean? It's a rerun? No. I'm looking now to see who's on. We'll see. I'll do it for you, Kat. I'll get it for you, dear. I don't have it's like a mod command because I want to be careful about who gets in. I don't just want anybody in my Discord. I'm kind of picky. So just know that it's a nice, safe place because I don't share it very often. Yeah, have a nice night, guys. Have a nice night. Sometimes you're a bit surprised by it because you didn't see it coming. Really, Werg? You think so? Thank you, Dragon. Yeah. I'm gonna see who shared Granny? Granny Savage? Who's Granny Savage? Is White Turo on a rerun? I'm gonna see if it's a rerun. It looks like White Tarot has quite a few people in queue. So I don't know if they're gonna have any openings. But we can see. Oh, she's one that you recently found, Tara? What does she do? Does she do, like, readings too? Sorry, I just realized you guys might actually be hearing the commercial. Nobody wants to hear the commercial. Sorry. Oh, is she? I think we all kind of Berg. It's just how balanced do we want to be with it? You know what I mean? Like, we all have a duality with us. It's just how much do we want to embrace one side over the other. And some of us are learning that it's okay to be directly on the fence. Oh, is she? Granny Savage. Let's try Granny Savage then. Only because it looks like White Tarot, her chatters are talking about it being a full queue. Maybe Granny has less people. Granny Savage. Was there numbers? I'm looking to see if there was numbers. 1963. Okay. Are we ready? Hey Shadow, welcome to the treehouse, dear. Oh yeah. Oh, she's in just chatting. Oh, she doesn't have that many people watching. Oh my gosh, she's gonna be excited. Yes, let's read Granny Savage. Yeah, she's gonna be excited. We're gonna share the love. She doesn't have that many people, so chances are she's got some openings. So for those of you who are like super patient with me taking like my sweet time, I'm sending you to somebody that can probably read some cards for you if you really want. Yeah, have a great day, guys. We're gonna go raid Granny. So share your heart emotes when you get over there. I've never watched Granny, so I'm trusting Tara with her choice. But it does look like she's also reading cards. I'm assuming she's a grandma. She says Granny. Granny Savage. She could be a little spicy with her Savage name. Spicy grandma reading cards. Could be fun. Could be fun. But I will be hanging out over there for a minute, so I'll be over there. And you guys enjoy the rest of your time. Thank you so much for being here, being supportive, letting me read for you. Mods, thank you for doing your due diligence. I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for your subscriptions and your gift subscriptions. And we will catch you next time. Next time. Bye, guys. Share your emotes when you get over there. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.